Welcome to Headstones and Microphones, where we use AI to step into the past through a researched, first-person simulation of history's most interesting people. I am your host, Calvin. While we've added some creative storytelling, our goal is to inspire your own study of these fascinating lives. Now, let's meet our guest. Today, we are joined by a true icon of the fairway, the King himself. For those who may somehow not know who you are, who are you?
Hi, Calvin. I'm Arnold Palmer, though most folks just called me Arnie. I spent my life swinging a golf club, designed a few courses, and I suppose I helped bring the game of golf into the living rooms of people all over the world.
It's an absolute honor, Arnie. Let's go back to the beginning. When and where were you born?
I arrived on September 10th, 1929, right in the middle of a small town called Youngstown, Pennsylvania, not too far from Pittsburgh.
And what was your given name at birth? Was there a story behind it?
Just Arnold Daniel Palmer. My father's name was Milfred, but everyone called him Deacon. I think my parents just wanted something strong and simple for me. No grand legend behind the name, just a boy born to a hard-working family.
What was your hometown like growing up?
Oh, Youngstown was a steel town at heart, but for me it was all about Latrobe. It was a place where people knew their neighbors, and hard work was the only currency that mattered. My world revolved around the Latrobe Country Club, where my father worked.
What was your family life and childhood like? What kind of kid were you?
We were a close-knit group. Money was tight, especially during the Depression, but we had everything we needed. I was a bit of a restless kid, always moving, always outside. My dad was my hero, but he was tough. He didn't believe in shortcuts. I started swinging a cut-down club he made for me when I was just 3 years old.
Did you have any big fears back then?
Honestly, my biggest fear was disappointing my father. He was a man of few words, and when he gave you that look, you knew you'd stepped out of line. I also had a healthy respect for the struggle. Seeing how hard people worked in the mills made me realize I didn't want to end up there if I could help it.
What did you dream of becoming as a child?
I wanted to be a golfer, plain and simple. From the moment I felt the click of a perfect shot, I was hooked. I also loved airplanes. I used to look up at the sky and imagine I was the one up there in the clouds.
What were your favorite activities in school, and what was your first job?
I played everything. Football, basketball, you name it. But golf was the constant. My first job was right there at the country club. I started out as a caddy and did whatever chores my dad needed, like picking up rocks on the course or helping maintain the greens.
Was there a moment you realized you were different from everyone else?
It wasn't that I felt different in a boastful way, but I realized I had a certain strength. I could hit the ball farther than most of the older boys when I was still just a teenager. I had a go-for-broke style that felt natural to me, even if the pros at the time thought it was a bit reckless.
What's a decision that changed everything for you, but felt small at the time?
Joining the Coast Guard. After my dear friend Buddy Worsham passed away in a car accident while we were in college at Wake Forest, I was lost. I needed to get away and find myself. Those 3 years in the service gave me the discipline and perspective I needed to come back and take golf seriously.
What was your biggest break and your biggest struggles before success?
Winning the 1954 U.S. Amateur was the turning point. That gave me the confidence to turn pro. Before that, the struggle was mostly financial and emotional, trying to prove I could make a living doing what I loved while coming from a background where professional athlete wasn't exactly a common career path.
Did you ever consider quitting?
Never. I'm too stubborn for that. There were days I played poorly, sure, but the idea of giving up on the game never crossed my mind. I just wanted to practice more.
Were there any specific daily habits or routines essential to your success?
Gripping the club correctly. My dad told me, "Boy, you get that grip right and don't ever change it." I also believed in a firm handshake and looking a person in the eye. On the course, my routine was all about the charge, staying aggressive and never playing it safe.
What job would you have had if fame never happened?
I likely would have stayed in the golf business in some capacity, maybe a club pro like my father, or perhaps something involving aviation. I ended up becoming a pilot anyway, so I probably would have found my way into a cockpit.
How did relationships change after success? Did fame bring happiness?
Success brought me Arnie's army. The fans were like family to me. As for my personal life, I was lucky to have my wife Winnie by my side. Fame doesn't bring happiness on its own. Happiness comes from the people you love and the satisfaction of a job well done. The fame just made the world a bit smaller.
What was the downside or misconceptions people had about you?
Some thought I was just a hit-your-pants-up brawler on the course. While I played aggressively, I put a tremendous amount of thought and practice into the mechanics of the game. The downside? Losing my privacy, though I always tried to make time for anyone who wanted an autograph.
What's something people misunderstood about your life?
People saw the private jets and the business empire later on and forgot that I started out with nothing but a set of hand-me-down clubs. I worked for every bit of it.
Who had the biggest influence on your life?
Without a doubt, my father, Deacon Palmer. He taught me how to play the game, but more importantly, he taught me how to be a man.
What were you working on in your career before you passed away?
I was still very active with my design company, Arnold Palmer Design, and I was always looking for ways to support the Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children. My work off the course became just as important to me as my work on it.
When and where did you pass away?
September 25th, 2016, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was 87.
I have to ask, what's a random fact most people haven't heard?
I actually designed the first golf course in China. And of course, there's the drink, the half lemonade, half iced tea. People think it was some big marketing ploy, but I just used to order it at lunch because I liked the taste.
What was your favorite food or restaurant?
I loved a good steak and a baked potato. Simple, hearty food. And I always had a soft spot for the dinners at the Latrobe Country Club.
What was your favorite book?
I enjoyed reading about history and aviation. Anything that told a good story about people overcoming obstacles.
Did you have any known rivalries?
Oh, Jack Nicklaus and I had some legendary battles. We wanted to beat each other's brains out on the course, but we were the best of friends off of it. That's what sportsmanship is all about.
What's the most outlandish purchase you ever made?
Probably my first airplane. It felt like an incredible luxury at the time, but it allowed me to see the world and grow the game of golf in ways I never could have otherwise.
What advice would you give people chasing success?
Focus on the fundamentals. Don't try to be someone else. Find your own swing and own it. And always, always be kind to the people you meet along the way.
Arnie, this has been incredible. Do you have any closing remarks for our listeners before we sign off?
Just that I'm so grateful for the army that followed me all those years. Life is a lot like a round of golf. You're going to hit some shots into the woods, but it's how you recover that defines the game. Keep swinging, keep charging. And thank you, Calvin, for letting me tell a few more stories.
Thank you so much for joining us, Arnie. It's been a privilege to hear about your journey from Latrobe to the world stage. And that wraps up another conversation from Beyond the Grave. Thanks for joining us on the Headstones and Microphones podcast. Remember, legends may die, but their stories never do. Please help spread the word by sharing and following the pod.